detect a little bit of unsurety in my voice, it's because I have no clue what this episode is about. I did not get the memo, and Doug is doing the same thing to me that I did a few episodes ago. So, Doug, tell me what we're getting into.
You didn't get the memo?
I did not get that memo.
I thought I sent it out, man.
I haven't set the emails up yet. So.
Oh, my bad. Hey, so check it out. So we're gonna get a little personal tonight, right? So I know how PTSD has affected me and those close to me, right? So I want to know, like, how PTSD or TBI has affected you, right? Either before you got out or after you got out, or both, right? So how would you say, like, the most dramatic thing that has affected you for the PTSD, right? Because I know, right? Don't get me wrong. I know, like, some of the places I dropped you off, right? With the stellar soldiers I have dropped you off with. So, I know it affects you in one way or the another.
So, I guess it starts back about the time of retirement. I didn't notice it. So when we came back from that deployment, I would go home from work, and I would eat, and after dinner I would go to the bedroom, and I stayed in the bedroom. I watched TV. When it was time to go to bed, I went to sleep, got up, and went back to work. Wash, rinse, repeat. And I didn't even realize that I was pushing my family away and locking myself in a room, and this went on for months. My mood swings were definitely very erratic. I would get to the point that I just really didn't like being around people. So when I retired, everything was changing. The stress of how am I going to provide for the family? As the time got closer and closer, I couldn't find a job. That was back when 2014, where all the dealerships, and as a mechanic, everything had pretty much shut down. Definitely. And I already lived in a small town.
So that didn't help.
It didn't help. It added to the stresses. And, I'm not gonna lie. There was things going through my mind as I was retiring. I call it the Robin Williams face. At work I kept that comedy face, and when I was away, I was actually planning other things. And one day we had a hurricane. It was this is after I retired. Now I've been driving truck. First year, we had a hurricane there in Georgia, and my son, his girlfriend, her sister, her mom, my family all came to my house, because everybody in Georgia lives in fucking trailers.
Right.
And man, dude, it was like I couldn't go fucking nowhere. Everybody was there, man. You're stepping over people, and it just got to me. And my son was already, me and him was already going at it, because one, my mood swings.
The oldest.
Yeah, the oldest.
Yeah.
And he was starting to experiment with drugs and shit, which I don't agree with. And so I've never had a filter, so if I have beef, I say something,
Right.
And that day the hurricane had just ended, and they had still put a nobody was allowed to leave there, and I threw my son out of the house right after the hurricane.
Okay.
Because of something stupid. And I think that was where one of the biggest problems were. That day it got physical. I was about ready to hit him. My wife got in between us, and I was kind of given another ultimatum. that I needed to go get some help, you know. And there was little things that I was doing that I didn't even realize, you know.
Right.
Um, I would just get tired of shit and spontaneously. One day, I just traded my truck for an old Camaro, an
I remember that.
an '86
Yeah.
Camaro, you
I
know.
remember that.
And
Through Facebook, anyway.
yep,
I remember that.
yep.
Yeah.
And I did it just because I was pissed off at my son because I would go out
So,
driving truck and come
like,
back and it was broke.
so, I mean, PTSD works in like so many different ways that it sometimes it's unidentifiable by the outside.
So until I went and seen somebody, I didn't even realize half the shit I
Yeah,
was doing.
but you gotta find the right person to see though,
You know, and a
right?
lot of people have those stories. I got lucky, and the first person I went to literally actually dealt with primarily special ops.
Yeah.
So I could relate. He wasn't never in.
Cause you remember how many times you came back from a deployment where you went through that psychological bullshit, right? And you're just like, motherfucker, let me go see my family. You
Oh
know?
yeah,
You're
absolutely.
like, you did not want to talk to them motherfuckers, right? And at that time, I mean, back then though, right? TBI wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
PTSD really wasn't a thing either back then,
right.
And it's just like you get back, they sit you down with the shrink, you ask a couple questions, you're like, kind of like, just giving a finger, like, shut the fuck up, let me go home, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's, I mean, that's the way I kind of see it.
So I'll tell you. So before I came to you guys, I had an issue prior to even coming to you guys. I mean, the deployments with that, you had put me didn't help things, but um,
You did pretty damn good, though.
huh?
You did pretty damn good, though.
But
It must have been them stellar soldiers.
It was.
It was. Yeah.
But so I still remember like when the war first kicked off, right? Um, everybody, I don't care whether you're civilian, whatever, everybody can tell you they can tell you what they were doing at the time of 9/11, right? The world literally stopped at that point for America. But we were not deployed at the time,
No.
and
I was trying to get on an airplane on 9/11.
was you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't work out, did it?
It didn't work out. I ended up spending 2 weeks in a hotel room.
I believe that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so our first battalion went, our second battalion went, and I remember asking our brigade commander, when do we get our chance? When is it our time? I was in third battalion, and I'm gonna tell you, I lived to remember his words because they were so true. He said, "Watch what you wish for, because you just might get it."
We got it.
I mean, I did 68 months total if you count in Bosnia as a deployment. I did 68 months, and other than the 9 months in Bosnia, all of it was Iraq, Afghanistan. And there was things that happened over there, where when I came back, man, I had dreams for my wife literally wouldn't sleep in the same bed with me for years because she was getting punched and elbowed and
yeah.
She said I would scream shit in my
Still.
Yeah, and it's weird. So like when I talk to the shrinks, right?
They don't like it.
No, because I don't know if they think I'm lying or whatever. My wife, she always thought I was lying. I don't remember the dreams. I can tell you when I had a bad night because the way I wake up and the way I feel inside.
I have no idea.
But I can't tell you what the dream was about, how it happened. I don't know. There was only one series in my life of all my deployments that I remember the dreams. and they lasted for years.
I don't get dreams. I get flashbacks. I don't get dreams. So
Maybe that's what they are, but at the end of the day, my point, I call them dreams because I'm asleep,
no, mine happen during the day
Yeah, I don't
when I'm
know, man.
awake. Yeah.
I have memories that
No.
I think
Well,
about,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I don't have
I
it.
do not have dreams though.
Yeah. Well, that's what I say too. I don't remember. If I do, I don't remember.
Right.
But
Right.
I can tell you something, like, there's days that I wake up, and I've told my shrink this too. There's days that I wake up and I can tell that something happened because I didn't feel this way when I went to bed.
Yeah.
But when I wake up, I'm first just getting out of bed and I already feel like I'm anxious. There's a bad feeling, like we're about, how, like, when it's quiet and you're about ready to get attacked.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. That adrenaline rush inside you is just building up, and
I'm told I'm a fucking walking around like a grenade without the pin.
it's the way I was before I got help, before I got on meds.
I'm still that way right now. Yeah. You know that better than anybody, but it's like.
So one of the things that bothered me, and since we're on this topic, I'll ask this, and maybe somebody else, nobody can tell me this, right? So one of the things that happened in my situation was, I went to Germany from Kandahar. They were allowing each of the soldiers to go back for 3 days, get supplies, and bring them forward. This is when the war first kicked off, right? And when you went, you left your weapon and everything, flew back to Germany, whatever, right? The war shifted, and as we grew over there, we learned, wintertime, the fighting went north up in Bagram area. In the summertime, it was down in Kandahar when they were trying to take that region back over again. Well, the war had shifted, and all the flights were now going north. They weren't going back to Kandahar. And I remember telling my sergeant major this, right? He said, well, we're going to have our helicopters fly to Bagram and pick us up, and they'll fly us back to Kandahar. That's a long ass flight for a helicopter, for a Chinook.
Yeah.
So and I told him, I said, that's where all the fighting's going on, and we don't even have weapons. And I'm gonna tell you, man, my luck. I call it done luck, because my whole life I always have fucking shit luck. Well, the fucking aircraft I was on had a fuel problem, and fucking went down in the middle of fucking. I still remember looking out the window as we hit the ground so hard that it busted the fucking landing gear. I still remember looking out the window, and the sergeant major was sitting next to me, and I looked out the fucking window. The most eerie fucking feeling is when you see other Chinooks fucking circling around you,
Oh yeah.
and there ain't a fucking thing they can do for you, and they're trying to shut the aircraft down to fix whatever the fuel problem was, that's what it turned out to be, was a fuel related problem. Well, the truth of the matter is they got it fixed, and we flew it back, and made it back to Kandahar. But for like years after that happened, my dreams, they started from that point, and what happened in my dreams was never what really happened. It was always that we were gonna have to fucking leave that aircraft and fucking wait to fucking be picked up,
But so, like, how did the PTSD affect your family?
A lot of
So,
fighting.
like, you've heard me say several times, right? I feel like my kids have PTSD from my PTSD, right?
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
like, how did that affect your family coming back from that, right?
Well, you know is better than everybody. I mean, you were even still surprised that I was married when I came back here,
Right.
because you knew when I was retiring, the reason why he
Right,
was
right,
helping
right,
me was
right,
because
right.
my marriage was on the
Yeah,
rocks.
yeah.
What you didn't know was a lot of that was from me pushing my family away and isolating myself. You know,
Well, I feel that I still do that today. Right?
I still do too.
Yeah.
Especially if I come off my meds, I
So
fall right back into that routine.
there is only certain people I would talk to about what happened or shit like that, right?
That's why I'm really surprised we're doing this.
Well, no, it's like so. I wanted to bring this to light. You know, it is a difficult conversation, right? That a lot of people will not talk about, right?
Yeah.
So, like, there's been several times. It's today I fight the PTSD and the TBI and shit that I have, right?
I do too.
And not only in my personal life, but my work life, whatever. I fight it day after day, right?
Yep.
And it's just like, and this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, is not a fucking good weekend.
No,
So it's just like, so I thought I would, you know, it's probably not good to fucking just throw this on you and, hey, surprise, we're talking about this shit, but it's, it is a subject that needs to be talked about. So,
it's not even just with the family, right? So I mean, now I've been out for years, and I've been on and off meds. Um, I recently went and tried to do counseling. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I kind of felt like that made things worse for me at work because I would leave there pissed off and go back to work because of all the shit that we talked about in that session, and I get it. Half the people where I work don't get it. They don't understand it. you know and they think of PTSD as the guys hiding from firecrackers, you know but it, like you said earlier, everybody acts differently when it comes to it.
not really acts, but
They respond.
reacts.
Yeah, they
Response, reacts, whatever, differently. Like Rathbun, right? Chief Rathbun.
Yeah.
You talk to him. 4th of July is his worst day of the year.
Right.
Right. He cannot go out to fireworks.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not taking anything away from the guy.
I'm not. Yeah. I'm not.
That
either.
is
That's his trigger.
That is his trigger, right? He starts hearing firecrackers and shit. He puts earplugs in. I don't blame him. If that is your trigger, don't do it, right?
Yeah.
But so a lot of different people have different triggers, right? I mean, yours might be me, like dropping you off in the middle of the fucking desert, right?
But
that is a serious fucking trigger, right?
Yeah.
No, we're not talking sharks right now, bro.
Well,
we're talking desert.
And that was the thing, and I think that's where some of the problem that came from me and my wife was, where you put me, I was the highest ranking person.
But check it out though, right? Yes, right? But I helped you out after that though.
You did.
I did.
What
I tried to mend what I did.
What I was getting at though was I knew that I could not show everybody else how I felt when I was disgruntled, when there was problems. I always had to keep that same emotional face, especially with some of the guys that I had, and when I got back, I that was what was normal for me.
You made it work though.
I did.
You made my Jiffy Lube, so I was good, right? Yep. I mean, that's what it was all about though, right?
Mission was accomplished.
The convoy would come to you, you set them up, and they move out, right?
Yeah.
You made it happen, right? I mean, you accomplished that mission. The hurdles you had to jump to get there or to stay there was more, right?
Right.
I mean, to actually be there and fortify where you were was more of a headache than a convoy rolling up, you're
Absolutely.
refueling, fucking resupplying, and then moving out, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, you did an outstanding job. You did what you had to do, and I got it. Some of them weren't as stellar as they should have been, right? But you did accomplish that mission. But I do see how that stress would just fucking eat you alive, because I set you out here with, I don't even know how many.
6.
Was it 6? I set you, hey, we cleared this fucking building. You're taking this, you're making the Jiffy Lube. I give you 6 dudes. And then I fucking left, right? So I understand the stress on that, right? And this coming, what, once every couple months or some shit. Me and Kappas came and checked on you and shit.
Yeah.
And you were doing stellar. I got it. Except for a couple of them fucked up. But I got that. But you did what you had to do as an NCO and to get past the point. But it stays with you throughout. It don't go away.
No.
And you know, between these mortar attacks and all this other shit, and you being right there by Fallujah, it's just like, dude, I'm surprised you're here right now.
We drove to Fallujah fucking,
I know.
what, I don't know, twice a week.
I know. I heard about it.
You know, but again, like I said, you know, it's amazing what the human body will consider normal, and I don't care who you are. I guarantee.
I still don't think we're normal.
No, well, in the vet world, we are, because every person that's deployed all say the same thing. They wish they could go back because life was so much more simpler.
Well, during a live, I put out our stipulations how we would go back, though.
Right. But I'm saying
we have guidelines.
What I'm saying is when you're with life, you know, dealing with life as a civilian here in this world, you know, and like I said, I get it, you know.
Absolutely.
There's civilians that work with me, and we're not mentioning names, but there's people out there that just can't stand me, and it's because they don't understand me.
I don't like you either.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
but,
that's fine.
You know, but at the end of the day, you know, I am what I am because of the life experiences that I have.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know, and if you don't like this guy, you should see the one that's not on meds. You can vouch for that one.
Get me off meds.
No,
seriously, get me off meds. I will show a couple people something.
Yeah.
And they will not want to see it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm going to tell you, man, it took a lot. It wasn't just my wife, you know. A buddy of mine, you know him, Craven.
Oh, yeah.
He is the one that actually referred me to his doctor. You know, him and his wife and everybody was going through marriage counseling. You know, and I don't know why people didn't know about this guy. This guy literally has recreated the treatments for PTSD in Hinesville, you know. And I walked in and instantly did not think that I was in the place I wanted to be in. I didn't want to go to begin with. And I thought, you know, I walk in, I see this big ass couch, and I'm
like, do we ever?
No. But when you see that big ass couch, that mindset that goes, this motherfucker's about to have me lay on this fucking couch and tell my story. He didn't even ask me.
It's like, how many times do you have to tell your story to different people?
He literally looked at my DD-214, asked me a series of questions, and went straight to ranting about how there should be a law that states how many times you can deploy a soldier, you know. And
I don't know. That was nice for me though. I loved it.
Right, and the vets feel that way because that becomes normal
It
to
was
them.
normal.
That
Yeah.
you see what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's
Yes.
what I was just getting back to. It's
Yeah.
amazing what we consider to be normal. You know,
We
so
hated Garrison.
yeah, absolutely. We were trained
Yeah.
to fight, and you know, some of those soldiers kind of thought I was fucked up too, because that you put me with, because we were sitting there and there was a Iraqi base right next to us, and I fucking got up on top of the building where I was at and fucking started sitting there watching the firefight. You know, you'd see the fucking tracers going back and fucking
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah.
You know, and all the soldiers was like, "Sorry, man, you should be down here. You're gonna get shot." And I said, "Man, I ain't gonna get fucking shot there." I said, "This is an Iraqi on Iraqi crime, man. I don't give a fuck who wins." You know, and they were just getting the shit fucking pounded out of them. But I had seen so much prior to that that it was fucking normal to me. Like you said, the first fucking rocket or mortar you hear, you run for the bunker.
Right.
You know, by your third deployment, you roll over.
Oh yeah, you roll over and
if it's
like,
my time, it's my time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
You're
and
just biding time, I mean,
right.
it's just like,
And that's, you know, firefights. That's how I was by that time. You know.
well, firefights were kind of the same way,
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
You know, it's just it became normal, and that's how you
It's
responded.
like you kill or you don't kill, so it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It became normal. Regardless, it became normal. And once you went back to the garrison side, you couldn't handle it no more.
Yeah, because now
it was nothing but paperwork and fucking counselings and fucking
bullshit.
You know, when you know me, I love to shoot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being a first sergeant, it fucking was just
Yeah, I never wanted to be that level.
You know, well, getting ranges was just like me yelling at my fucking training NCO, just like, give me fucking ranges, give me ranges, give me ranges kind of thing. And it was so fucking just so intensified by paperwork just to get a range.
Yep.
It's just like, I couldn't even fucking yell at him anymore. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me kind of thing.
Yep.
Because overseas, you could just go outside the wire and shoot whatever the fuck you wanted to shoot, right?
Right.
And here back stateside, it's just like, do you have the proper documents? Do you have a fire extinguisher? Do you have a fucking range detail and all this other shit? It's just like, you know, like kind of fuck you kind of thing. It's just like, dude, I just want to fucking qualify my company. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, and all the checks where the guy had to drive around fucking 50 miles around the damn range to, you know, it's
Did
a
you
fucking
sign for this ammo?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, this is just like,
and
it's
so
just stupid.
And that was the other thing too. You know, my passion was to be with the guys. You know, and I think that's where some of the issues I have still to this day come from, because we rotated so much, and it seemed like you would be there and everything would go great, right? And then you would leave.
Well, some of them fucked up though.
Right, but no, I'm saying you would be there for your rotation. So for us, it was like 3 months at a time. You did 3 months. You went back, then you rotated to another place, right? But you would be there in those 3 months. It'd be great. Nobody got hurt. All missions accomplished. Fucking check, Roger. You know.
But you stayed there.
And then when you come back, you find out somebody else that went in after you died.
Oh, and that's never good.
And then you start asking yourself, you know, should it have been me? Yeah. Would it have stopped if I was still there?
Right.
And these, you know, these were things, and then it starts weighing on you. I got a wife and kids. That could have been me. Are they prepared? And the reality of what we do on a day-to-day basis becomes real reality.
Right.
When the war first kicked off, that wasn't in anybody's mind.
Right.
Until they seen it.
Right.
You know, and that fear catapults into more casualties and more problems, and it becomes the fight when you come back, and it leads us to the war that we're fighting right now.
We probably continue fighting this war though.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
it's not going away, bro. It's not.
Yep.
So
it's tough, you know.
So a lot of people take it worse than we do, though.
I got a buddy that does.
Dude, so how many phone calls you got? You know, like, I mean, just what has happened. They get out, right? Next thing you know, you get a phone call, and you had no idea this was going on when they got out.
Yep.
But yet they were yours, right? But you still get that phone call because you're just like, people trust you enough to call you and say, "Hey, dude, did you hear about this guy, man? Oh man, he just committed suicide, right?"
Yeah.
Well, why? Oh, he had a gambling debt, or family didn't fucking kicked him out of the house, or what have you, right?
Yeah.
So like, that's some serious shit, right? So one of the experiences I had, right? My grandfather died. So I came down from Aberdeen, Maryland, right? I was an instructor at that time. Came down to Fort Campbell to. I had blues, but I didn't have the hat, right?
Right.
So I went by clothing and sales at Fort Campbell. Went by there to buy the hat, right? I was going to go and dress blues to his funeral, right? My grandfather's. While I was at clothing sales, I met an old NCO of mine, Sergeant Torito, right? And everything was going good, blah, blah, blah. He looked good. He looked just like I left him in fucking initial invasion, right? I went to my grandfather's funeral. I went back to fucking Aberdeen. Went from Aberdeen to Hawaii after that, right? Got a fucking message from an old NCO of mine, Milk Dud. Milk Dud fucking sends me a message saying, "Hey, dude, you hear Chirito killed himself?" The fuck? No. I just saw him like a fucking couple months ago, right? Well, come to find out, the dude fucking had a gambling debt, all this other shit, didn't want to take it upon his family. Pulled the fucking trigger, man, and blew his head off. So, I mean, it's it plays on you.
It does.
Where you been, what you done, right? He was in the initial invasion with us. We called him Pops, because he was older than all of us, right? I mean, that motherfucker was already like 46 or some shit. We all called him Taco. Even Taco called him Pops. But it's just like, it's like, it doesn't matter if they're in at that time or they're out. Dude, that shit hits you like a fucking brick every fucking time, man. One is too many. People don't understand that, but one is too many.
The other thing too is some people don't realize it doesn't have to be just combat that causes this. You everybody that knows me knows that June 28th is a bad day for me. I lost 8 brothers that day, and I wasn't deployed at the time. I just rotated back, and then I got put on the funeral detail. when you have to bury 3 people.
That's not good.
To this day, I still can't make it through the sound of taps.
So this probably ain't the time, but no, I got you.
You know, everybody talks about triggers, and I just can't make it.
So being the first sergeant and having to call the names is terrible, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be that guy, but it has to happen and you're going to do it anyway.
It's a formality.
But, dude, nobody understands what roll call means, you know? When nobody answers back to that name,
Yeah, it's the worst.
some people just look at it like, what's going on kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, that's not it.
Yeah, I mean, I posted on Facebook today. You know, when I seen that picture about it had the ghosts with the caskets on the aircraft.
Dude, that was a good post, by the way.
And I've been there. I've been on aircrafts that were going from Germany back to Afghanistan because a freedom fighter from Afghanistan was killed. We didn't know it at the time until we got back on the plane. The most eerie feeling is to get on a fucking plane that's taking you to combat and you ride all the way there with a fucking casket with an American flag draped over it. You know? And then you get there and you can't land because they're currently in a firefight. You know, and you're like, what the hell? And then your missions start happening and things go well and you get that false sense of fucking we're untouchable. Our training is so fucking good. And when it doesn't go the way you expect, man, it's like you just said, it's that bombshell that hits like fucking we are human.
So, I mean, it'll be another podcast, but dude, so I was casualty assistant for fucking twice in my time in. That was probably I can't even say that was the worst time of my fucking career because I still keep in contact with both of them. You know,
Right.
and it's just like
The circumstances is the worst part.
This soldier lost his fucking life either before, during, after, whatever. And it's like, you had to serve this fucking family, take care of them and shit for shit. My first one was like almost 6 fucking months. We still talk today.
Yeah.
He's in like, I don't know, like fucking Dublin, Georgia or some shit.
Mhm.
Douglas, Georgia.
Okay.
We can go there. We can go there today. He'll serve us free food. I'm just saying. But I mean, to this day, we still communicate one way or the another.
Right.
It's just, it's the point, man. Like respecting, who has passed, right? And that's Memorial Day weekend too, right? So, I mean, a lot of it has to do, some of it has to do with PTSD, some of it has to do with dying in combat, whatever. But it's like, you can't forget. You can't. It's not going anywhere, bro.
All the medication in the world doesn't change your memories. It changes how you deal with them. And yeah, without it, I don't know. I wouldn't have accomplished some of the stuff that I've done. I was pretty fucked up. Like I said, there was things going through my mind that I'm now preaching against. When I was retiring, and it was because I had pushed my family away, and I felt like I didn't have a family anymore. I didn't have a career no more. You know, everything was just fucking getting at me. So I was lining things up, insurances and fucking everything, and then my wife figured it out and confronted me about it. And then shortly after that was the episode with my son,
Mm.
And then I did go get help, and
you got to find the right help though.
You do.
Yeah.
And I completely agree, because like I said, that first person I went to was great, but there was no sit on the couch. I didn't have to tell stories. He dealt with what was preventing me from functioning, as a normal person. And he left up, if I want to get counseling or talk, up to me. Well, I tried it when I got here, as you know, and it didn't work out.
So I mean, VA help is great here.
Yeah, I don't
The clinic is awesome for medical, but behavioral health has not been proven yet. So
well, I'm not talking bad about him. I'm not. I'm telling you, it was not for me.
it never is for us though. Sometimes I think we refuse to help. And when it comes to psychiatric help, I think we refuse it sometimes. But I mean, it's just like, it's like throw us some drugs, let's bury the fucking problem and get the fuck out of our way, kind of thing.
And that's kind of how I have dealt with it.
I mean, I think that's how a lot of us deal with it, though. Just give me some drugs and I'll be fine tomorrow, kind of thing. I mean, I really don't know. That's the way I am.
Yeah, it's one thing when, like you said, when we sit here and we preach about this, but then we sit here and discussing ourselves, and it brings a whole nother feeling.
It makes you think, and I'm sorry I brought this shit up, kind of thing, but it needed to be talked about anyway. So
right,
you got to get this PTSD in control, because you're gonna be swimming with sharks.
I already have, man.
I'm just saying. But other than that, we're glad you guys joined us for this one. This was kind of an emotional, like, he did not know what the fuck I was gonna bring up, and I'm glad he got some shit off his fucking shoulders, and I mean, it happens, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, man, this show is about moving forward and giving yourself a remembrance that tomorrow is another day.
Another day.
If you need help, say something. Suicide prevention number 1-800-273-8255. If you need to reach out to us, you're more than welcome to. We can shoot the shit, tell you some lies, and drink some beer with you, and discuss whatever you want to talk. If you just got some shit you want to say, man, I got some big ass ears. We can listen. We can listen all day. So you can reach out to us through Facebook, Savahi Army. You can reach out to Brooke Jackson if you're a female veteran. She's the veteran.org, primarily on the East Coast. And if you're on the West Coast, Chief Rathburn, leavingthesideline.org. If you need help, say something, man. We'd rather hear your story than your obituary. At the end of the day, one is too many.
Definitely.
All right.
Yes.
We thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch y'all on another show.